what is social pressure. And here I am in the middle of downtown Manhattan. One of my favorite streets right here, Prince Street. Why did I choose this location? Because there is a lot of social pressure without even having any social beings here. As you can see, I'm alone on the street. I'm here alone on the street, and I'm doing this video about the topic of social pressure, but in relationship to the pickup artist lingo and terminology, because we all know what social pressure means in the mainstream media, but we do not know what social pressure means in terms of pickup artistry. So now here is the video. What is this thing, social pressure? Now, social pressure is a lot of things. Even if you have one person, you already have a little bit of social pressure applied on you. But here in Prince Street, I have this social pressure. The social pressure, why? Because this environment is all about yappy people and posh environment and overrated prices and beautifully designed stores that they want to sell you on this, on that concept. So there is a lot of social pressure even without people. But in terms of game, pickup, and social dynamics, social pressure goes to a completely different level. Now, here is an example of social pressure. You see a woman and you decide to approach her and you talk to her and you say, hey, how's it going? My name is blah, blah, blah. And she looked at you just like that. She just looked at you. And she applied a little bit social pressure on you by just looking at you and holding her gaze, holding her eyes on you. So she is giving you the so-called shit test, and with a little bit of social pressure, you just look away. You lost your frame. So social pressure is also when you are in the bar or in social situation and a bunch of other people are trying to approach that girl or that girl or that girl, and you staying there alone and you are thinking, how should I go about it? How should I go and talk to this woman or any creature of the opposite sex? And you don't know how to do it. Why? Because social pressure is already applied on you by the environment, but by all these other people that will already judge you only in your mind. In reality, they don't care about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, but in your mind, in your mind, in your frame, you think, oh, how to say it, what to say it, and most importantly, what other people would think of me. That is another example of social pressure applied on you. Now, another example of social pressure applied on you could be you are already in a relationship, but now you have to introduce your girlfriend or your wife to all the rest of your friends. That means your world. You will have to bring her to your world. And then again, social pressure. How your mother will think of her, how your father will think of her, how your brother, friends, siblings, how anyone that you know will think of her. That is another example of social pressure on you. There's many more examples of social pressure. Even the top pickup artists, even those players of the players, the best of the best, they also have a lot of social pressure applied to them. For example, the social pressure of fame. You know, once somebody gets a little bit famous in this era of instantaneous famosity and famiosity, all of a sudden you open some YouTube channel and all of a sudden you have a little views and requests and some subscribers, and there you have it. Social pressure again applied on you. How should I talk to my subscribers? What should I tell them? Should I be nice? Should I be polite? Should I be an asshole? And question like this: but social pressure exists because we live in society of social being. As we are social being, therefore there will be always social pressure. Now, here's the practical advice. What to do if you feel social pressure on yourself? Step number one, get some books to get you off your mind that will discuss the topic of how to avoid social pressure. There are many books on the topic. Let's say start with Nice Guy No More. That's a cool book. There's another books that are talking about social pressure. I cannot recall the name, but all the books that say the word F, un-F yourself, all this type of books. Get some books on the topic of social pressure to avoid social pressure. And the most importantly, if you want to skip the books and the theory and the all the blah blah blah, just go directly in your life and practicing being in a high social pressure situation. Even if you are working for a company, there will be always a lot of social pressures. How the colleagues will react, how the bosses will react, how the management will react. So, the best practical tip I can give you on how to avoid this awkward thing, social pressure, is to tell you to stay in your masculine frame. And I started this video with this little example of you going and you're talking to a woman and she stares at you a little bit more extensively, and your natural instinct of you is to but I want to give you an example. Do you remember these fighters, the MMA fighters or the world whatever, the fighters, kickboxing, the top boxers? Remember that before the match starts, before any boxing starts, these people are placed into a very unique positions. It's half for the show, mostly for the show, because in that little 20 seconds they are placed in front of each other and they look deep into the eyes of the opponent. So there you have it. They're looking deep into the eyes of the opponent, and you can imagine what is going through the head of this guy McGregor when he was saying to this Russian or Tajiki or Kazaki guy, I'm gonna kill you and this and that, and a lot of eye contact. So stay in your frame as a man and you will avoid all the social pressures. And also check this entire list. This entire list deals only with terminology that pickup artists, players of all kinds of sorts are using amongst themselves to code. There's over 1,000 videos on this playlist. Please check them all out. If you are a beginner, it is a must list. If you are advanced, it's also good to refresh your memory on the terminology of pickup artists. And I would say be a A player or be played by the social pressure and life itself.